Rocket League is the sort of game that doesn't need to be changed to continue evolving. The same basic spectrum of movement since the game's release has seen a continuous improvement at pro level every single year. No stagnation, no skill ceiling. Even to this day, records are continuing to be broken in professional Rocket League. And by the looks of it, that will continue to be true for years. But today, we're winding back the clock to take a look at some of the most incredible moments in Rocket League history. These are 5 times Rocket League pros broke world records. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. I started playing it the other day and I can confidently say I was very impressed. It's incredibly immersive with more than 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, ships, all modeled down to their individual components. War Thunder includes anything from action-packed PvP battles all the way down to a more realistic tactical experience. So no matter your playstyle, there's something for you. Being a video creator, I was immediately impressed by the sound design. Everything is so realistic. I love the beautiful music combined with the authentic sound effects from each weapon, not to mention the amazing graphics. I really don't have any critiques, it's all put together so well. War Thunder is available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation and previous console generations, so click that link in the description to check it out. You'll also get a large free bonus pack to get you started if you use that link below. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring the video. To cover these moments, I've decided to only include RLCS records for the sake of simplicity and to prevent outliers from one-off side tournaments. So starting off, let's take a short step back to 2022, where we witnessed one of the most entertaining matchups in Rocket League history. When extraordinary games happen, it's not totally rare for multiple records to be broken at once. For example, if a player scores the record for most goals in a single game, there's a decent chance they'll also have the most shots, as you can probably imagine. But at the RLCS 2022 Fall Major, a single game between Liquid and version 1 broke a total of 5 different LAN records, marking itself as one of the most sensational RLCS LAN matches of all time. Team Liquid, being one of the most aggressive teams in the world, came out of the gates hot in Game 2, firing shot after shot, forcing version 1 to lunge desperately for saves. For most teams, this sort of play is worst case scenario, but for version 1, this gameplay is exactly what they're comfortable with. Being forced on the defense makes their carefully timed counterattacks that much more effective. And the patience they have to look for those counterattacks is on a level above any other team in the world.
One more for Otto, but he misses the touch, and game 2 goes to overtime.
By the end of regulation, the shot differential was 13-0, with 73% of the game being spent on version 1's defensive half. And yet, the scoreline remains completely even. All that pressure means absolutely nothing once overtime hits and everything resets. And once version 1 started heating up, it looked like a whole other game.
A bit of possession, applying their own bit of pressure. Off the backboard, Oski misses. This might be a chance. Calm the double tap. And it's from a chronic.
That save was ridiculous. No, Liquid just got it. The shot was there. Put the
With pressure and opportunities evening out, it became impossible to predict who'd end up scoring first. Every single attack had a possibility of ending the game. But minute after minute, not a single one managed to connect fully.
Save. Who's there? It's a toe. And now we have broken the record for the longest OT at an RLCS LAN. But now,
this should be over.
How long can we go? We thought that was going to be the end. There it is. Oski's finally able to break the silence.
After more than 10 minutes of overtime and a countless amount of goal line saves, Team Liquid took the game and tied up the series. Liquid set a new LAN record for shots on goal with 22. Beast Mode setting a new record for saves with 11 in one game, and version 1 as a team with 18, and Beast Mode again with the highest score ever on LAN with 1339. And of course, the longest overtime in RLCS LAN history at 10 minutes, 38 seconds. To win in Rocket League, your main objective is to put the ball in the back of the net. It's pretty basic, right? If you're good at that, you're a really good Rocket League player. It sounds really easy, but anyone who's played knows that the simplicity of it is exactly what makes Rocket League so difficult. Taking a quick step back, around 2019-2020, the 1v1 competitive scene was very, very popular, largely due to this guy, Peak. He was pretty much the undisputed GOAT of 1v1. And the reason I bring this up is because ones is widely known as the game mode where fundamentals are, everything. In other words, you need to be pretty heckin' good at putting the ball in the back of the net. So considering Fairy Peak was considered the GOAT of ones at this time, it makes complete sense that he's right at the center of this exceptional world record. In RLCS Season 9, Vitality vs Veloce, Fairy Peak displayed a mastery of goal scoring on a level that's beyond anything seen before.
Critical of their defensive playstyle. Is it going to work against Vitality so far?
The beauty that this record occurred in this exact matchup was that Veloce was actually known for playing an extremely boring bunker down playstyle that even some of the best offenses struggled against. Fairy Peak, however, didn't seem to have an issue with that.
Fairy Peak shots, and Fairy Peak scores!
Yeah, great save there by Alpha. He was very patient, waiting for the ball to come his way. But is that another Fairy Peak goal? You bet it is. Just a minute and 30.
A hat-trick so early on was definitely impressive, but less than surprising so far. That's just what Fairy Peak does after all. But this game from him quickly moved beyond impressive as that goal tally only continued to rise.
If you're Veloce here, I don't think you do respond. I think this might just be game.
Not.
Fairy Peak scored it.
Ball with Kashi against Deep Secret. It's can't miss.
Can't miss. Fairy Peak cannot miss. The difference in quality in terms of placement is certainly apparent as Fairy Peak gets another goal.
That I can't quite pinpoint. Fairy Peak, this could be it. Number 7! It is an awful lot of fun. Fairy, he's gone for net. He's scored. Like, do we really have to go any further? 8 shots, 8 goals. Why not?
The cherry on top, as you just heard, was Fairy Peak's flawless shooting percentage. 8 shots, 8 goals. He not only set a record for goals in a single match, but did so with perfect accuracy. This performance is definitely one for the history books and a perfect showcase of how that simple objective of putting the ball in the net is what Rocket League is truly all about. Prepare to witness one of the craziest matches to ever occur in Rocket League. Up until now, I can almost guarantee you've never even seen it before. Allow me to set the scene for you. This matchup is between 2 rising European teams, RLCS and BS Plus Competition. Unfortunately, since this was an early stage in the tournament, this particular match didn't happen to be broadcasted live, so chances are most of you haven't even seen it. Just to preface this though, the fierce competition displayed in Game 4 of this series turned out to be the highlight of the entire event. But only those who took the time to view the match for themselves got to experience it. Until now. What made this match interesting from the start was that RLCS was playing with a substitute named Pilkin, which is always a huge question mark at the pro level. Fortunately though, that didn't seem to be too much of a disadvantage as that very substitute put in the first goal of Game 4 just 14 seconds in. For the remainder of regulation, RLCS didn't exactly have the luxury of keeping offensive pressure. Instead, they were forced to make save after save, barely hanging on with each one. Despite some close calls here and there, nothing quite found its way through completely. But as the clock ticked down to 0, the unrelenting pressure finally broke through with timing that couldn't be more perfect. Overtime in Rocket League can definitely be described as intense. But let's just say, when it comes to this overtime, calling it intense would be a criminal understatement. It began just like any other overtime would. As expected, neither team wanted to play too risky off the bat, so there was a bit of boomer ball to start it off. But in hindsight, it's clear why this overtime ended up playing out differently. Unlike in most cases, the style of Rocket League being played by these teams didn't really adjust or fall flat as the pressure continued to rise. Like it was almost nothing, that OT timer came right back up to 5 minutes again. An entire extra game of overtime, and still no team was ready to give in. "10 minutes of overtime now. We've officially reached the point of absurdity. This gameplay is the closest Rocket League has ever looked to being in a complete stalemate. Every challenge was met, every 50 even, every shot denied. This was no longer a competition of brute Rocket League skill. It was transforming into a battle of prolonged focus, something Rocket League has never been known for prior to this match. 14 minutes into overtime now, still both teams refusing to budge. 14 minutes turned into 15. 15 turned into 16. 16 turned into 17 straight minutes of full-fledged Rocket League at the highest level, until one single mistake brought this now historical overtime to an end. 22 minutes for a single Rocket League game sounds made up at first, but it truly happened at the highest level of play. The result was, of course, a record for the longest overtime in RLCS history that's still held today, as well as the highest player score in a single match in the RLCS. These records right here might not be topped for a very long time. Rocket League's fastest goal of all time, even outside of the RLCS, has been climbing over the years, with freestylers spending hours a day doing ground pinch after ground pinch, trying to send the ball the fastest they possibly can. The record has continued to be broken again and again. At one point, it was 183 kph. Then it was 187. Then it was 189. Eventually, people have gotten ground pinches all the way above 200 kph, which is actually crazy. All of these records are without mutators, keep in mind. Just normal Rocket League in an online match, which I didn't even think was possible. But the main issue with these is that they are all in just about the most casual environment you can imagine. When it comes to pro play, the fastest goal in RLCS isn't exactly known for sure by the community, to my knowledge. A couple years ago, Jorias tweeted asking what the fastest goal in RLCS history was, basically wondering if a redirect he just hit might have been it. Apparently, his redirect he's talking about was 158 kilometers per hour, which is insane. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a clip of this anywhere after searching for hours, so you'll have to use your imagination, but for reference, this ground pinch right here is about the same speed, but Jorias did his on a redirect somehow, so honestly, it's still hard to imagine. Luckily, it doesn't even matter though that there's not a clip out there of it, because it turns out it's not even the fastest. A couple months prior in RLCS X, Alpha 54 and Fairy Peak came together for a perfect team pinch that sent the ball flying so fast, if you blink, you'll probably miss it.
Seconds, Alpha outpaces, got the setup!
163 kilometers per hour from a team pinch was the new world record for fastest goal in the RLCS. Well, actually, not really. Believe it or not, there was a goal in the RLCS that goes even faster than this, but it's a little less climactic than you'd expect. Winding back the clock all the way to 2017, an own goal from Chaussette sent the ball flying into the upper 90 at a whopping 166 kilometers per hour.
For the win. What? That could be it. Another goal. A rocket off the kickoff.
The funny part is, the casters didn't even acknowledge the incredible speed that the ball had. But as far as I can tell, this goal right here would remain the fastest RLCS goal ever scored, even 6 years later. But let's be real, that team pinch from Vitality is so much better and just barely not as fast, so for me, that's still the real winner here. A World Championship title is something that only a countable number of players have achieved. It's exactly what everyone strives for, making it the most competitive achievement in the entire esport. Yet somehow, despite the competition for it being so fierce, one particular player has managed to claim 4 of them. And the moment in which they claimed that 4th one ended up being one of the most memorable in the esports history. Let's relive that moment today. RLCS Season 8 Grand Finals. On one side, you have Turbo Pulsa and NRG, 3 world championships, looking for his 4th and trying to lead his teammates to their 1st. On the other side, you have KDOT and Team Vitality, also looking for his 4th world championship and trying to lead his teammates to their 2nd. Someone is going to be a 4-time world champion here. And what better way to decide it than with a Game 7 on Champions Field.
NRG against Renault Vitality.
The final match begins on even ground. The top talent in the world so evenly matched, until 2 minutes in, where both teams begin trading blows. And a perfectly executed demo from Justin tears open the defense.
Who's he got left? 1-on-1!
As time shortens, NRG continue their pressure, and Vitality are forced to respond or accept defeat.
Straight over to Justin again. Justin for Turbo. Turbo for Garrett. Garrett for Ned! What a save!
With less than 30 seconds remaining, the scoreline is even once again.
It's gonna stick in! What time!
One champion to be crowned, one goal to decide it.
We have overtime!
One goal, Shogun. That's all it's going to take.
Great play to this corner. Very Peak. He's got past 2 players. Looks for a bump. Garrett G clears line.
Justin! NRG! Do
the RLCS has meant everything to me. Without RLCS, I will never be where I am right now. I don't know, I'm lost for words. It's been a good 8 years, and bye.
Be sure to check out War Thunder through the link below. It's completely free and available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC right now. If you're looking for a highly immersive combat experience, this is the perfect game for you. Thank you again to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video, and thanks to you for watching.